everyone. I want to update you with what we have left to do in the child abuse course and some of the problems we're running into with timetabling and scheduling. Because we've lost some dates in that course because of either closures or this particularly applies to the Friday class or to holidays like the upcoming Good Friday holiday where the college is closed in week 13. We need to make sure that I get all the material covered, and in order to do that, we are not having the campaign. We are not having the campaign in week 12. Your t-shirts you should be working on, but the actual campaign will not happen in week 12. I need the class of week 12 in order to finish the last piece of the course, which has a lot to do with the legislation, duty to report, and the process of making sure that you understand the laws around child abuse. So that is happening in week 12. For the one section, Tuesday morning of week 12, the other section, Friday afternoon of week 12. So please make note of that. So moving forward, then, we need to look at the child abuse campaign. What we have done already in this campaign is that the first part, most of the groups have done this, submitted to me an idea of what their t-shirts will look like, the kind of wording that's going to be on their pictures or on their t-shirts, the drawings that they're going to use on their t-shirts, and how they plan on using the t-shirts. So are they going to have each member of the group wearing their t-shirt? Remember, each person must have a t-shirt. It's not one for the group, it's one for each person. And then, if each person isn't going to wear a t-shirt, how are they going to use their t-shirt? Is it going to be part of a display? Is it going to be hung on the clothesline? Tell me about that. You don't have to have it carved in steel. It doesn't have to be the absolute last thought, but I want to have an idea of what's appearing on your t-shirts so that I can give you feedback about whether it's appropriate or not. That needs to be done. If you haven't done it, right away. Please get it done. It's worth 5 marks. It's not a big deal. The next part, if you were in class and did the study, case studies around different types of abuse, we've already done that. Those are graded. I will be posting those grades. Just on a side note, I am grading as quickly as I can. There's been a lot of information, as you know, because you've completed it, that you've handed in the last little while. So while you're on block placement in week 10 and 11, I've been spending as much time as I can grading. I will release the grades once I've finished grading rather than releasing them as I grade. If I do that, then I get interrupted with questions from students, and it's better for me to give it all at one time. So just be patient. It is coming. I am working. I haven't forgotten. The last part then is the actual campaign. And this is where we're going to have to be really careful about how we do this. I'm speaking now to the Friday group that I have. Week 13, you're not on campus, and so in week 13, you're not able to have the campaign. Week 14 is the test. So in order to make the campaign happen, I'm going to turn it into a virtual or a digital campaign. And what we are going to do is something that has been done at other times with this particular course, but we're going to do it in a way that makes it a little more visual than what we've done in the past. So I'm going to set up a whole set of space on Google Slides. Each group is going to have slides that they prepare that clearly show you wearing your shirts, how you would use the shirts. Perhaps if you wanted to hang them on a clothesline to demonstrate that, you can use a piece of rope tied between 2 posts to be a clothesline and pin them to it. So you can be creative with this part. You're welcome to upload a little video onto your Google slide. And what your Google slides are going to have to incorporate, and I will be adding a page for this on our eCentennial site and handing it out in week 12 when I see you, is that you're going to be including the content about your topic. So this content about your topic of abuse needs to be put into your work. The reason that this is so important is that it's not just a t-shirt, it's the information about it. So a synopsis, a few slides, I'm going to set the number of slides that you're going to have for this around 6 or 7 slides for the entire group. You're going to have photos of you wearing the shirts or the shirts hanging, or you're going to have information about you videotaping you talking about it, whatever you want. But this also is going to have to it a piece where I'm able to look and see that you have collected information and created a handout, so that the handout will be able to explain the ramifications, the contact numbers, the important pieces of legislation that go along with that. So the rubric comes very straightforward. Strategies used to bring awareness to the issue of a child abuse that you're working on. So whether it's domestic or whether it's physical, whether it's sexual, whichever type of abuse your group is working on. Then the t-shirt piece that has a strong visual impact, has very powerful messages that have absolutely no spelling mistakes, and that you've put a summary of the highlights of the strategies that you would use to share this information. And so that will go into the Dropbox in week 13. Instead of putting it into the Dropbox, we are going to put it right on the Google Slides. So you're going to create the summary there. If we go back up and leave the rubric and look at the actual campaign of what you will be doing in this part of it, the t-shirt is just part of what's happening. A written proposal, that's the piece that some groups have left to do. Your campaign will be documented using a variety of strategies, so photos, you can use video, as I said, you can use Instagram, you can do what you want with that piece. So a detailed summary about your group's campaign about child abuse. So some information about the process of creating the shirts, some information about the message that you wanted to get out and why you chose that message on your shirts. And then I want a copy of a handout. You must prepare at least one handout about your type of abuse. So factual information, perhaps some contact information for organizations or information sites that you found regarding that particular type. Now, I have posted on eCentennial too some basic information from all of the different types of abuse in a printed format, so you can download it as a PDF. You can use some of that information, but you have to you have to source it, so that means you have to cite the source for that material. You also have had at your availability a lot of information from the websites that I provided you earlier in the course, where you could go to learn more about that type of abuse. So what you are doing for the campaign part is creating a one-page brochure or one-page handout that highlights the type of abuse that you're focusing on, the symptoms, the elements that would make you be concerned for a child, and some of the strategies for getting help for the child. So you may then, as I said, create some links to some other organizations or give handout numbers. Those are up to you to try and put together. So that's all on one page. The rest of it is photos, videos, Instagram pictures of you and your group either wearing or distributing or showing the t-shirts and hanging them up, making the clothesline. I'll leave that for you to decide. So hopefully that gives you some information about what you can or can't do for that last part. I apologize, although I'm not sure why I didn't create Good Friday, but it's unfortunate that we can't do it all together as one big group. We simply just don't have time. And so I want you to do that between the weeks of now and week 13. This information will get put into Dropbox by the end of week 13, so as week 13 turns into week 14. And I know you're under a lot of pressure right now, but hopefully you've got your t-shirts well on the way. And what you're left to do now is just to create a handout about the type of abuse that your group is studying, and the photos of the finished products of your t-shirt, and perhaps how you put them together with your handouts and how you display them to make a virtual presentation. I will then be connecting all of those virtual slides and turning them into a movie, and so our movie will become our documentation for the campaign, and we can use it in a virtual way on our early childhood AECO site. So that would be a really good piece to have for going forward for the future. Okay, Friday group, get on with it, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye for now.